Right, welcome to a game of on-base baseball, and I'm going to play a full game between the Chicago White Sox from 2019 and the Cubs from 2019. So this is White Sox at Cubs. So from Wrigley Field, this is the crosstown series between the two Chicago teams. And this game was played on June 19th in 2019 using real rosters. So we'll just go through the lineups very quickly. It'll be Jon Lester going for the Cubs against Leury Garcia in center, Tim Anderson at short, Jose Abreu at first, James McCann catching, Eloy Jimenez in left, Yoan Moncada at third base, Ryan Cordell in right, Yolmer Sanchez at second, and starting for Chicago is going to be for the White Sox is going to be Lucas Giolito. For the Cubs. Leading off is Kyle Schwarber in left, Chris Bryant at third, Anthony Rizzo at first, Javi Baez at short, Wilson Contreras catching, Jason Hayward hitting sixth and right, David Bodie with the start at second base. This is back when there was a different manager. So Jon Lester hitting eighth, not ninth, and then Albert Almora Jr. in center field. All right, so we got all of our team set up here. So we got Jon Lester's card, and let's straighten up a little bit. Lester, a lefty, 13 and 10 in 31 starts, 4.46 ERA. Not an amazing year by Jon Lester standards, but solid as he always is. Here's our cards for the White Sox, and then we have Giolito, who's going for Chicago. Sort of a breakout year for him, 14 and 9, 3.41 ERA. Pretty close to his FIP and his Sierra, so nothing too out of whack with these pitchers. Basically what you see is what you're going to get. And then we have our Cubs lineups here. So Anthony Rizzo, the big batting runs leader for them, but all the big names that you would expect. Castellanos, I believe, came in at the trade deadline, so he played well for them, but I don't think he was on the team at this point. So here we go. And top of the first inning, Jon Lester against Chicago. We're going to be using the ball score application here. Let me get my dice roller. One thing I didn't set up down here. So we can get our board set. Okay. All right. So I've just been trying to find a way to do everything on the screen, so I can just do a screen sharing video. So hopefully it's not too bad for you. I know the sound is a little echoey. It's just the space I'm in. So here we go. Top of the first inning, Leury Garcia, center fielder, against Jon Lester. And we'll go ahead and kick it off with a roll. So that's going to be a 1-5. And a 1-5 off of Lester's card is a blank. And let's find Leury Garcia. He's second page here. And a 1-5 for Garcia is going to be a single. So Garcia gets us started off in the game with a no-out single, leadoff single for the game. Tim Anderson had a great year in 2019, had another good year in 2020 as well, but you can see 335. I believe he won the batting title that year. So here's the pitch. It's a 2-4. And a 2-4 is going to be a blank here, but on Anderson's card, that's going to be a double play or a strikeout. So there is a double play situation with the runner at first base and nobody out. So I'm going to get the double play, and that was hit to the shortstop. So anything 7, 8, or 9, if it's hit on the ground, is going to be to the shortstop. At least that's how I play. There are other different rules that you can use. Feel free to bring in any sort of rules from other games or decisions on how to do double plays, etc. So this is just going to be an auto double play for me. And It's going to be an out. And I can't remember. Here it is, grounded into a double play. It's going to be 6-4-3. And it's going to be 2 outs. 2 quick outs for Lester. Got a man on and then gets the double play from Tim Anderson. And they double up the speedy Anderson. So it's going to be, we got Jose Abreu. So the big boppers for the White Sox. It's a 3-4. And on Lester's card, that's a blank. For Abreu, a 3-4 against a left-hander. So he has some sort of special splits here against left-handed pitching. And so against a left-hander, you can see that it's a double, where normally he might have had a fly out. He actually hits a double. So starting him against the lefty pays off. So that's a double for Abreu. So you can see the double play was really big in the inning. James McCann comes to the plate. A 1-4 to McCann, a 1-4 off the pitcher card is going to be a double. So back-to-back doubles puts the White Sox on the board. Abreu comes in to score on the McCann double. So the White Sox lead 1-0 here in the top of the first. 2 outs. There's a 2-3. A 2-3 is a blank. And a 2-3 to Eloy Jimenez is going to be a ground out with an error check. So it's a ground out to the catcher. So we'll see if there's an error on Contreras. Possibly. So maybe on a 2. Let's check Contreras' card. He is a minus defender, and so that is going to be an error. So we'll call that E2. So he reaches first on an error, and the runner is going to advance to third. Error goes to the catcher. So a little bit of trouble here in the first inning for the Cubs. Only giving up 1 run so far. The double play here was huge. And Yoel Moncada, third baseman for the White Sox, comes to the plate. A 6-6 to Moncada. It's going to be a blank for Lester. And Moncada is going to be a single. So run scoring single there. So he's going to score the run from third. The runner at first is actually going to advance to third base. So with 2 outs, I usually give the runner 1 extra base. So it puts runners at the corners now. Still 2 outs, 2 runs in now. And Ryan Cordell, right fielder for the White Sox. 2-6. 2-6 off of Lester's card is going to be a blank. And let's see, Cordell. Here he is, a 2-6 for him. It's going to be a ground out. So that's going to be a ground out to the third baseman. So Bryant scoops it up, tosses over first, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. All right, so 2 runs in the top of the first inning. There was an error, so not everything was earned. A tough inning for Jon Lester. Let's see how the Cubs respond here in the bottom of the first. They're going against Lucas Giolito. Giolito had a breakout year in 2019 and built on that in 2020. Kyle Schwarber, left-handed hitting left fielder, is up first for the Cubs. A 1-2 to Schwarber is going to be a blank off of Giolito. And for Schwarber, 1-2 is going to be a ground out. No one's on base, so no need to advance anything. The D9 here is it's an 8, which turns us into a grounder to shortstop. So 6-3 on the putout. Anderson with the putout. Chris Bryant steps into the plate, right-handed third baseman. A 36 off Giolito's card is a blank. And for Chris Bryant, 36 is going to be a fly out. And we check the D9 to see where it goes. A 1-2-3 is a fly out to left field. So we go F7 on the putout. And Anthony Rizzo, left-handed first baseman, steps in for the Cubs. That's a 1-5 to Rizzo. There's a blank on Giolito's card, and for Rizzo, a 1-5 is going to be a ground out. So another ground ball. This one just a little tapper in front of the plate. McCann gets out, pounces on it, tosses to first, and he goes 2-3 on the put out. So a quick inning for Giolito, and the White Sox are back in the box. Yolmer Sanchez, second baseman for the Sox, up. There's Jon Lester. That's a 1-3, and off of Lester, a 1-3 is a blank. And let's see, Yolmer Sanchez down here. 1-3 for him is going to be a ground out. So a ground out to 9 is going to be a 7, 8, or 9 is going to be to the shortstop. So Baez up with it. Easy play to first. And brings up the pitcher, Lucas Giolito. You can see here that we do have a pitcher card. And the pitcher card has some outcomes here. We also have, pitchers are a -10 batter. They're 0.1, so a positive fielder. Most pitchers are good fielders, or at least average fielders. And so I didn't want to penalize them necessarily because they don't make a lot of errors. And then their speed is a 1.0, so most pitchers are not particularly fast. You're not going to use them for pinch running or typically for stealing. So the only time he would the only time a pitcher would make it would be the only time a pitcher would make it is on a roll of 1. So anything 2 to 9, a pitcher would be thrown out, which is probably pretty realistic. So Giolito steps up. A 1-2 to Giolito is going to be a blank off of Lester's card. A 1-2 is a ground out, and that's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. So a couple quick outs to the shortstop. Brings up Lurie Garcia. Pitch to Garcia is a 2-4. 2-4 is a blank here, and for Garcia, 2-4 is a double play or a strikeout. So Lester gets the K, and it's going to be a strikeout looking. So let's go back and change that. You can tell, so 7, 8, or 9 on the D9 for a strikeout. I usually play as a strikeout looking. All right, so that sends us to the bottom of the second inning. Heart of the order up, Javi Baez, the shortstop. Stepping in, this was Giolito, a 3-3. 3-3 for Giolito is a blank, and a 3-3 for Baez, let's see, is going to be a double. So he leads off the inning, laces one down the line, and puts Javi Baez at second base with Wilson Contreras coming to the plate. It's a 1-4 to Contreras. 1-4 is a blank for Giolito, and for Contreras, a 1-4 is going to be a single. So a couple of hits to start the inning for the Cubs, and they're in business. We're going to have the runner stop at third. So usually with less than 2 outs, I only have runners take as many bases as the hit. So a single is one, you advance 1 base. Everybody advances 1 base. For Jason Hayward, left-hand hitting right fielder, he steps in against Giolito. That's a 4-5. 4-5 is going to be a blank, and a 4-5 for Hayward is going to be a fly out. So it's going to be a fly out to center field. So any fly out on a D9, if the D9 is 4, 5, or 6, that's a fly out to center field. Let's check Javier Baez, see if this can be play at the plate here. His speed is 5.7, which means that any roll from 1 to 5 is going to be he's going to be safe at the plate. With David Bodie coming to the plate, I think we're going to try. So this is going to be a fly out to center field. Let's just go ahead and log that. And actually, let's cancel. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the play at the plate first. That way we can move the runners around as we need to. So we're going to try to score Javi Baez. And each set comes with, not the pitchers. Each set comes with a card. we have here? Oh, it's on the pitcher side. Sorry. So each set comes with this card here. You can see this is a game action reference card, and what this does is it just gives you sort of a quick reference of the different actions that you can take in the game. So when you want to steal or take an extra base or whatever, how do you do that? And if you want to do sacrifice bunts, or how do you handle errors? So it just sort of gives you a quick reference while you're playing the game, especially while you're learning it, to think about how to do these special plays. So for stealing, tagging, or taking an extra base, you roll the D9. If the roll is higher than the player's speed value, which is this value here on their card, you can see it here. It's just to the right or to the left of their position. So if the roll of the D9 is higher than this, then the player's going to be out. If it's that or lower, so for Addison Russell, it will be a 4.0. So if it's a 4 or less, he would be safe. If it's a 5 to a 9, then he would be out on the play. If you're stealing third base, you subtract 1 from the player's speed value before we roll, and then just use the same formula. And then to steal home, you'd subtract 2 from the player's speed value. So each steal is incrementally more difficult. So that's sort of the thinking behind that. But for tagging, we use the same type of deal. So for tagging, if the roll is higher than the player's speed value, then he's going to be out. Hobby Baez is a 5.7, so you can round up if you want to 6. I usually round down to 5. And so if it's going to be a 1 to 5, he's going to be safe. 6 to 9, he's going to be out. So I don't know, his odds are a little better than half at this point. So we're going to roll, and then whatever this D9 is going to tell us whether he's safe or out. So it is a 5, and that means a 5 or less, he's safe. So it's going to be a tag up and a sacrifice fly here. So let's say the sac fly, he scores. Contreras is going to stay on first. And the put out is going to be to center field. All right, so we have a sacrifice fly. He gets the RBI. Hobby Baez comes in to score, so Cubs get on the board. Not too complicated. It's made a little bit more complicated with all the moving parts here on the screen. And Albert Almora steps up to the plate. A 2-4 for Almora against Giolito is a blank for Giolito, and for Almora Jr., 2-4 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. So with 2 outs, there's no double play situation. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Jon Lester. We're going to run in the same situation for the pitcher, I think. So a 2-4 is a double play or a strikeout. So it's going to be a strikeout for Jon Lester. It's going to be a strikeout swinging. So Giolito gets out of that, only giving up 1 run, 2-1 now. White Sox over the Cubs. So White Sox coming into Wrigley Field to play this crosstown rivalry. And Tim Anderson steps in for his second at bat. He get into a big double play in the first inning. Put a wet blanket on that potential big inning. So a 1-4. A 1-4 off of Lester is going to be a double. So that comes right off of his card. And it's going to be a double for Tim Anderson. So another base runner on. That's 2 innings out of 3. They've had their first runner on. Anderson has really great speed. I don't know if it's going to show up here. Let's see what his speed actually is. Yeah, he's a fast guy, but his speed rating is not huge, so definitely not going to try to steal third, because we would have to make that a 3.7, which would be a 3 instead of a 4. And his odds go way down stealing third. Not going to bunt with Jose Abreu. So I'm going to swing away. 4-6 for Abreu. He has a blank here, and let's see what he's got. 4-6 is going to be a double play or a strikeout, so another big double play for Jon Lester. So grounded into a double play, and that's to the shortstop. So it's going to be 6-4-3 again. So Baez. Oh, I'm sorry. Runner was not on first. The runner was on second. So it's going to be a strikeout. So no double play situation. That'll just be a straight up K for Lester. And it's going to be a strikeout swinging. So Abreu strikes out. Doesn't move the runner up or get anything in motion there. So James McCann, catcher, steps to the plate. A 3-4 for McCann. This could be a big, big hit. Let's see. So for McCann, a 3-4 is going to be a double. And so that's going to knock in Tim Anderson. So Anderson's going to score from second. McCann comes in with his second double of the day. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. 2 RBIs already for James McCann. So a big game for him so far. Eloy Jimenez steps into the plate. This is his rookie year. 5-5 to Jimenez is going to be a line out. And I'll just go through the motions of showing you so you can see it on the card. But a 55 is typically a line out unless there's some sort of special something for left-handed, against left-handed pitching. So it's going to be a line out to the shortstop. So line out to 6, and runner's going to stay at second base very alertly. 2 down now, runner at second base. 3-1 Sox over the Cubs. Yoan Moncada steps to the plate. A 3-6 to Moncada is a blank off the pitcher card, and for Moncada, a 3-6 is going to be a fly out, and that's going to be a fly out to right field. So that's going to end the inning, and Hayward puts it away, and the White Sox pick up 1 run in that inning, and Albert Almora is going to lead off. I believe this is why a lot of people are putting guys into the 9-hole, so you get basically 2 leadoff hitters. So Almora is going to start off the inning, a 1-5 to Almora. Let's see, he's we're going against Giolito, so that's a blank. And Almora, a 1-5 is going to be a single. So he starts off the inning well with a single. Almora, not particularly fast, even though it's considered a good defender in center field, but not a great year for Almora in 2019. So he's going to stay at first. Kyle Schwarber, he grounded out his first at bat. A 3-6 to Schwarber is going to be a blank, and Schwarber, what does he do with it? He's on page 1, so a 3-6 to Schwarber is going to be a fly out, and it's going to be a fly out to center field. Runner will hold at first base. And Chris Bryant, the big hitting third baseman, steps up to the plate. Number 2 hole hitter for the Cubs in this game. A 2-6 to Bryant. 2-6 is going to be a strikeout off of Giolito's card. So Giolito gets the K, and it's going to be a strikeout looking. So let's go ahead and change that. And then Anthony Rizzo comes up with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Rizzo grounded out to the catcher's first at bat. Here's a 5-6 to Rizzo, another K from Lucas Giolito. So back-to-back strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging, and that gets the White Sox out of the inning. So still 3, top of the 4th inning now, 3-1 Chicago White Sox over the Cubs. Well-pitched ball game so far between Lester and Lucas Giolito. What you would expect from 2 big-time pitchers. Been helped out here by a lot of ground balls for Jon Lester, which is it's good when you're playing at Wrigley Field. Be throwing ground balls. Ryan Cordell, he grounded out to third in his first at bat, and he steps in against Jon Lester. It's a 2-4. 2-4 is gonna be a blank off Lester's card, and let's see, Cordell, where is he? Normally you would cut these cards out. It'd be a little bit easier to sort of move through them, but I'm trying to do a screencast here, so maybe just using the PDFs will be helpful. So Cordell, what is it? It's a 2-4. That's going to be a double play or a strikeout. So Lester gets a strikeout there. It's a strikeout swinging. That's his 1, 2, 3, third strikeout of the day. Yolmer Sanchez steps in, and it's going to be a 4-5 to Sanchez. 4-5 is a blank, and a 4-5 to Sanchez is going to be a flyout, and that's a flyout to left field. Remember, 1, 2, or 3 on a flyout is to left field. So Schwarber puts it away, a little can of corn, brings up the pitcher Giolito. 4-6 to Giolito is going to be a blank, and we go to the pitcher card. 4-6 is a double play or a strikeout. So his strikeout, second strikeout of the inning comes for Lester, and it's going to be a strikeout looking. So let's go ahead and make that change. All right. So it brings us to the bottom of the fourth inning. Cubs down 3-1, and Javi Baez coming out to the plate. He doubled and scored in his first at bat. 2-3 off of Giolito is going to be a blank, and for Baez, let's see, a 2-3 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So this is a ground out to the shortstop. So we'll do an error check to see if he makes the play or not. He does make the play. Anderson picks it up, throws to first, gets him by a step. And Wilson Contreras steps up to the plate. He singled in his last at bat. Here's a 4-6. 4-6 is a blank off of Giolito's card. And for Contreras, 4-6 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. No double play situation here, so that's going to be a strikeout. Sorry. And it's going to be a strikeout swinging for Contreras. So Giolito gets his fourth K of the day. Jason Hayward steps in, left-handed fielder. There's a 1-6. A 1-6 is a blank. And for Hayward, the 1-6 is going to be a fly out. So that's going to be a fly out to left field. So another 1-2-3 inning for Giolito, and he's cruising through the game. Both pitchers are pitching well. Just a smattering of runs here and there. We go to the top of the fifth. Jon Lester is at 18 batters, so we got to start paying attention to their stamina here. He can go 25 batters, and he's at 18. Giolito is at 15 batters, so he can go 25 as well. So no real threat as far as stamina is concerned for the pitchers. All right, so Lurie Garcia, center fielder, steps up to the plate. Garcia is 1 for 2. Struck out his last at bat. Here's a 5-6. 5-6 off of Lester's card is a blank. And for Garcia, 5-6 is going to be a strikeout. So Lester with another strikeout, and that's going to be a strikeout looking. So the way I determine strikeout swinging or looking is if the D9 is a 7, 8, or 9, then that's strikeout looking. So give him the old backward K. Tim Anderson steps up to the plate. Anderson doubled and scored in his last at bat. Here's a 2-4 to Tim Anderson. It's a blank, and a 2-4 to Anderson. Let's see. 2-4 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts. Actually 3 in a row now for Jon Lester. Another strikeout looking. And Jose Abreu steps up to the plate. Abreu with a 1-6. 1-6 is a blank from Lester. And for Abreu, a 1-6 is going to be a fly out with the runners advancing. Nobody's on, so that doesn't matter. And there's 2 outs, so it really doesn't matter. And the fly ball is going to go to left field. So that ends the inning, quick inning for Jon Lester. He's had a couple of those now. So I said this couple of 1, 2, 3 innings in a row, which is helping the Cubs and the pitch count, but they just can't seem to get anything going here. And David Bote leads off for the Cubs, second baseman for the Cubs. He had a sacrifice fly in his first at bat, so he's coming up with 1 RBI. And a 3-3 from the pitch from Giolito is a 3-3. David Bote. Where is he? He's on the first page. So for Bote, a 3-3 is a jack. So look at that. It's a high fly ball to left field, out onto Sheffield. And that's a solo home run, leadoff home run for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 5th. So it pulls them a little bit closer, 3-2 now. Sox over the Cubs. Brings up Jon Lester. Lester was 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat. A 5-5 is going to be a line out. It's a blank for Giolito and for the pitcher. Just going through this to show you already know, but 5-5s are typically lineouts unless there's some sort of special split that the person has. Sometimes put that in the lineout spot, but it's gonna be a lineout right back to the pitcher. So pitcher makes an out, right back to the pitcher. So we'll go with an out, and that's a line drive to 1, and first out of the inning. For the Cubs, Albert Almora, center fielder. He singled in his first at bat. There's a 2-5. 2-5 from Giolito is a blank, and a 2-5 to Almora is going to be a fly ball. And that's going to be with an error check. So the plus means to do an error check. And it's a fly ball to right field. So we'll see. The right fielder is Cordell. Ryan Cordell is the right fielder. And let's just go and make sure that we need to check it. We don't, so it's not a 1 or a 2, so there's no need to even look at the player's card. If this were a D9, were a 1 or a 2, you should check the defensive rating, which is found here in the middle of their metrics. And then you would see, is it a plus or a minus, and then make a determination on that D9. So because it's a 5, there's no error. So Cordell reaches up, puts it away, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. Brings up Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber, leadoff hitter today for the Cubs. And a 1-1 to Schwarber is going to be a strikeout. That's off of Giolito's card. So Giolito with another strikeout in the game. That's going to be a strikeout looking. So let's go back and change that, just to reflect what's happening in the game. All right, so let's take stock of where we are here in the game. We come up to the top of the 6th inning. White Sox are up 3-2. We're playing in a National League park, so pitchers are batting in this game. And so we're gonna have to do some switches, some different things here, especially in a close ball game. James McCann, catcher, is 2 for 2, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs so far with runs scored. Jon Lester is at 21 pitches, or 21 batters faced. He can face 25 before he has to start using these outcomes in red here. That's what that means. Giolito he can also face 25, so these are guys who can go deep into the game. Giolito's only faced 19 batters so far. So in the ball score, it's a little bit easier once you're dealing with the starters. This is how many outs, how many batters they've faced. So I believe that's right. Is that right? We can just double check that. Yeah. So Giolito has faced 19 batters. Lester has faced 21. So I can always check these. Check the box score as well, especially when you start bringing in relief pitchers. You want to be keeping track of how many batters they've faced. Most of them can face 4 to 6. They're like 1 inning guys. So pitchers are okay up to this point. James McCann, Leading off for the White Sox. It's a 1-6 to McCann. 1-6 is a blank. And for James McCann, I always want to say Brian McCann. I'm a big Braves fan. But for McCann, a 1-6 is going to be a fly out with a runner advancing, which doesn't come into play. So it's a fly out to center field. And for Eloy Jimenez, he is 0 for 2 on the day. He did reach by an error in the first inning. It's a 3-5 to Jimenez. And a 3-5 goes through to his card, and so that's going to be a strikeout. So another strikeout for Jon Lester. He gets Jimenez swinging. Brings up Yoan Moncada. So Moncada 1 for 2 on the day. Here's a 1-2, and a 1-2 is going to be a blank off Lester's card. And for Moncada, that's going to be a ground out. So a ground out to 8 is actually to the shortstop. So we'll say 6-3 on the put out. So Baez over to Rizzo, and that's the third out of the inning. Brings us to the bottom of the 6th inning. White Sox still ahead 3-2. It's been a well-pitched ball game so far. First inning, there was a little bit of action, but it's been a smattering of things here and there since then. Like I said, Giolito at 19 batters, very efficient, and several strikeouts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts so far in the first 5 innings. And Chris Bryant steps up to the plate. So a 4-5 to Bryant could be trouble. Let's see. It's actually going to be a fly out for Chris Bryant, a 4-5, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. If he had been a 30 plus hitter, you can see I've manipulated these for home run totals. So he hits a home run on a 34. So it's going to be a fly out to center field. And brings up Anthony Rizzo, left-handed first baseman for the Cubs. Here's a 4-5 to Rizzo also. This is going to be a fly out. And it's going to be a fly out to the right fielder. So we go ahead and make that a fly out to right. And Javier Baez steps up to the plate. He's doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. Grounded out his last at bat. Here's a 2-5. 2-5 off Giolito is a blank. And a 2-5 for Baez. It's going to be a fly out with an error check. So it's a fly out to center field. And let's see if we need to make that error check. We don't. So center fielder reaches up and makes a play. That's 3 up and 3 down. And Giolito still cruising in the ball game. Lester at 24. Lester's at 24 pitches here. We'll see how we begin to play it here. We're going into the top of the 7th inning. Giolito, he's still an inning away from reaching his stamina. Lester can throw this inning without any stamina, without dipping into his stamina ratings. That's typically how I play. So Lester's at 25 batters faced. He can go. If he hasn't reached that 25 batters when he starts the inning, then I still read off the left-hand side. But if he were to come out for the next inning, then I would read off the right-hand side. So that's wherever they start. If they start the inning with this amount or less than this amount, really, then I still read off the left-hand side, regardless how many batters he faces in the inning. And then if he comes out the next inning and he's over his stamina, then I start reading off the right-hand side. Some guys like to play with, once they reach their stamina, if they give up a hit, they pull them, or, there's lots of different ways that you can play the stamina ratings. I like to give guys the opportunity to go a little bit farther in the game. And actually, when I make the ratings, I take their actual batters faced and add 1, so everybody gets one extra batter, just because the difference between 24 and 25 batters is really It's not that much, but it allows them to stay in the game a little bit longer, just to make it slightly more realistic. So Ryan Cordell, right fielder for the White Sox, steps in. It's a 1-5. A 1-5 off Lester is a blank. And for Cordell, where is he? A 1-5 for Cordell is going to be a single. So we'll see. They might knock Lester out of the game anyway. Yolmer Sanchez. He steps in. A 1-5 for Sanchez is a blank. And a 1-5. Let's see if he's any different. A 1-5 for him is going to be a single as well. So a couple of hits to start off the inning. Cordell is a 3 speed, so we're not going to try to push him over to third base. So he's just going to advance to the second base. Brings up Lucas Giolito. This is an opportunity for the White Sox. Opportunity to get something going big. So the White Sox are going to pinch hit for Lucas Giolito. So let's find a pinch hitter here. So we got someone on this first page. They don't have a lot of depth. So maybe we'll go with, if the Cubs are going to stick with Lester, we'll bring in Ryan Goins to pinch hit. So let's do a pinch hitter. And we'll bring in Ryan Goins. So we can see our pinch hitter's been put into the game. You can see that Goins has some extra splits here against left-handed pitching. Even though he's a left-handed batter, he hit really well, so with more power against left-handers, and higher average too, which is why he's going to get this extra single. So he gets 2 extra hit opportunities, actually 1 extra hit opportunity, but he gets a little extra power boost here on a 3-4. So Lester still in the game. Cubs going to stick with him against the left-handed batter, even though he's got good splits against lefties. Normally you're going to do that lefty-lefty split, but Lester himself doesn't have any special splits against left-handers. He's equal against lefties and righties. So here is Ryan Goins. That's going to be a 2-6. 2-6 is a blank here, and off of Goins' card, that's going to be a ground out. So it's a ground out to the shortstop, and with this situation, we're going to go 6-4 and take the lead runner at second base. Not the lead runner, but the middle runner at second base. So runner at second is going to move up, and it's going to be a fielder's choice. So let's see, a fielder's choice, 6-4. This runner is going to advance to third. It's going to be out at second. And that's how we do it. And so now runners on the corners with 1 out. Still a little bit of a dicey situation, but he struck out Garcia twice. We'll stick with Lester here. A 1-4. A 1-4 is going to be a double. So a big hit for Garcia. So that's going to be a run scoring double. Cordell's going to score. Goins is going to go to third. With 1 out, he can only give him as many bases as the batter knocks in. Where are the Cubs here? Okay. So the Cubs are trying to get Lester through this inning. We'll gut it out and see how it goes. So Tim Anderson against Jon Lester. So walking on the edge here, a 1-5. 1-5 is a blank. 1-5 for Anderson is going to be a ground out. So let's see how this goes. It's a ground out to shortstop. The only play here is to first base. So didn't have the infield in or anything. So the play is to first base. That's going to score a run and get the runner to third. So we'll say fielder's choice, 6-3. not a fielder's choice, just a noun. So we go 6-3 on the put out. Runner's going to score. Runner advances third. So they cash in another run. It's now 5-2. And let's see if we can get out of the inning. The Cubs, a 6-6 to Abreu. That's a blank. And for Abreu, a 6-6 is going to be a single. So another run comes in. So 3 runs here in the 7th inning. And Lester's really taking it on the chin. Leave him in, see if he can get out of the inning. A 1-4. A 1-4. Another double for Lester. And with 2 outs in the inning, that's actually going to score this guy at second base or first base. So, so he's going to go 1, 2 plus 1. So he's actually going to score on the 2-out double by James McCann, his 3rd double of the day. He's got 3 RBIs, and Cubs don't have any choice. Probably should have taken Lester out a long time ago, but going to bring in maybe Cishek. So I'll bring in Cishek. Close out this inning. All right. Let's bring in the opposing pitcher, Steve Cishek. And he's going to be facing Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez maybe. So pitch to Jimenez, 5-6. That's a blank off of Cishek. And Jimenez, a 5-6, is going to be a walk or a hit by pitch. If this is a 1, it's a hit by pitch. Otherwise, it's a walk. And so he probably comes in and walks the first batter. And then puts runners at first and second. Ryan Cordell back to the plate. So this is his second go around this inning. He started it off with a single. A 2-3. 2-3 is going to be blank off of his card. And Ryan Cordell, 2-3 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So a ground out to shortstop. And we'll see if we need to check the error. We don't. So shortstop makes a play. And that's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, it was Yohan Moncada. I think it's probably going to be the same thing. So 2-3 ground out. Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. But it's just for Moncada, not for Ryan Cordell. So Moncada grounds out short, and that ends the inning, but not after. The White Sox pick up 4 runs. So White Sox get 4 runs, and now they're up 7-2. Wilson Contreras coming to bat. And so okay, so we're leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. Wilson Contreras, the leadoff man for the Cubs. Cubs are down 7-2 now after that 4th inning or 4-run burst in the top of the 7th, and still facing Lucas Giolito. At least one more inning. So it's a 1-5 off Giolito as a blank, and a 1-5 to Contreras is going to be a ground out, and that's a ground out back to the pitcher. So a little tapper back to the mound. Pitcher up with it, tosses over to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Jason Hayward. Hayward's 0 for 2, a couple flyouts on the day. He's in right field today. 4-5 to Hayward is going to be a blank, and for Jason Hayward, let's see where he is. 4-5 to Hayward is going to be a fly out. So another fly ball to center field. And center fielder reaches up, puts it away. 2 outs in the inning, brings up David Bodie. Bodie, the second baseman. 3-5 to Bodie from Giolito. It's going to be a blank. And for David Bodie, 3-5 is going to be a strikeout. So another strikeout on the day for Lucas Giolito. Strikeout swinging, ends the inning. Puts the Cubs away for another inning. So we go to the top of the 8th. Cubs are down 7-2 at Wrigley Field against the White Sox. Ryan Cordell is going to be leading off. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Cubs. So let's bring in Brad Brock. So we'll bring Brock in. And I believe his spot is leading off. Yeah, his spot's leading off the next inning. So Brad Brock against Ryan Cordell. Here's a 3-5. 3-5 off of Brock is a blank. And for Cordell, 3-5 is going to be a strikeout. So Brock comes in and gets a strikeout in his first against his first batter. It's a strikeout looking. And then Yolmer Sanchez steps in, second baseman for the White Sox. So 1-4 is going to be a double that comes off of Brock's card. So a 2-bagger, and that's his second hit of the day. And we're going to have another pinch hitter here for the White Sox. So let's go with Charlie Tilson. Tilson will come in and pinch hit for the Sox. Tilson, a left-handed batter against Brock, right-handed pitcher, and Tilson, a 229 average on the year. Didn't have a lot of at-bats, but mostly a bench player. So it's a 1-4. A 1-4 is going to be another double off the pitcher card. So a run-scoring double. Tacks another run on for the White Sox, 8-2 now. And Lurie Garcia steps to the plate. Garcia has a single and a double. And a 2-6 from Brock is going to be a walk. The game's starting to get out of hand here. So let's go and bring in, see if we can get a little bit of relief here from somebody. Bring someone in off their, these are their better pitchers, so let's go with someone like Rowan Wick. So don't like to dip into their better pitchers here, but definitely need to. All right, so Wick enters the game. He's going to be facing the middle of the order. Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu up next. 2 runners on, 1 out. Cubs already down 8-2. And it's going to be a 2-3. 2-3 is going to be a blank off of Wick's card. And a 2-3 for Anderson. Let's see. For Anderson, a 2-3 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So let's see. Ground out to the catcher. So we'll see if Contreras can make the play. Let's do the check. Okay, he does make the play, and he's just going to go 2-3 on that put out. Both runners are going to advance. So we'll say he's going to make an out. It's going to go 2-3. Both runners advance. And brings up Jose Abreu with two men in scoring position, 2 outs against Rowan Wick. There's a 1-6. 1-6 is a blank, and a 1-6 for Abreu is going to be a fly out. So with 2 outs, the runners advancing doesn't matter, and it's going to be a fly out to left field. So Wick comes in and gets him out of the inning. But not before they give up another run. We need to bring in a pinch hitter here. Let's see, who do we have pitching? Oh, we got to bring somebody in for Giolito because we pinch hit for him. Is that right? I believe that's right. Maybe I messed that all up. I don't know. Did I give Giolito another inning after I pinch hit for him? I'm not sure. It's a little harder to do this with this ball score than keeping score by hand. But we'll bring in somebody fresh. Let's see here. Who are we facing? On the bottom of the order. So let's bring in Herrera, maybe? Kelvin Herrera. It's a little mop-up duty in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if he can get through it unscathed. You can see that he gives up. He's got an extra home run here, a double walk, so not great. 162 whip. So we'll see how he does against the Cubs. So let's insert a new pitcher, and it's going to be Herrera. Okay, so he's going to be facing off not against Jon Lester. We're going to get a pinch hitter here. Cubs haven't been able to get to their guy yet. Let's go with Ian Happ. All right, so got a new pitcher, new batter, and it's going to be Ian Happ. I think. There he is. Okay. So you can see him. And here is the pitch to Ian Happ. That's a 1-3. And a 1-3 is going to be a blank off of Herrera. And a 1-3 for Ian Happ. It's going to be a ground out. So it's a ground ball to shortstop. So Anderson over to Abreu for the first out of the inning. Brings up Albert Almora. 3-4 from Herrera is going to be a blank, and for Almora, let's see, was that a double? A 3-4 is going to be a double for Albert Almora, so he gets his second hit of the ball game. Puts a runner at second base with 1 out. There's a 1-6 to Schwarber. 1-6 is a blank, and a 1-6 for Kyle. Let's see. A 1-6 is going to be a fly out, but the runners advance. So a fly out to left field. It's a great play, running catch in the corner, but he stumbles and falls. And runner advances to third. So we're going to be a fly out to 7, and a runner will advance to third. So runner on third base, 2 outs. Chris Bryant to the plate. That's a 1-5. A 1-5 is a blank off of Herrera. And for Chris Bryant, a 1-5 is going to be a ground out. So Herrera does get out of the inning. Ground out to shortstop. Anderson puts it away. And we're going to need a new pitcher for the Cubs. So let's bring in who's he facing? So bringing in a left-hander is not going to make much difference. Let's bring in Pedro Strope. So a lot of relievers here for the Cubs toward the end of the ball game. So Pedro Strope against James McCann. And here's the roll. A 3-5. 3-5 off of Strope's card is nothing. And for McCann, a 3-5 is going to be a strikeout. So Pedro Strope comes in, throws it by McCann, and gets a strikeout looking. Brings up Roy Jimenez. He has got 3 doubles. He's got no hits on the day. A 1-3. And this is going to continue that trend. So 1-3 for Jimenez is going to be a ground out here. Yeah, it's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. So let's go 6-3. Baez over to Rizzo for the putout. And then brings up Yoan Moncada. A 3-6. 3-6 is a blank for Strope. And a 3-6 for Moncada is a flyout. So Strope comes in and gets a 1-2-3 inning. That's a fly ball to left. And that's going to be the end of the inning for the White Sox. So their hitting day is finished up, and they have Herrera's. They have 5 batters. He came in here 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if Herrera can just end the game here. He's going to be facing Anthony Rizzo, bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs down 8-2. And here's the roll. That's a 2-6. 2-6 off of Herrera's card is going to be a strikeout. So it comes in, gets the strikeout swing on Anthony Rizzo. Now facing Javi Baez. Baez 1-3 on the day. Here's a 2-5. A 2-5 is a blank. And for Baez, 2-5 is going to be a fly out with an error check. So it's a fly out to left field. So let's go ahead and check for the error. No error on the play. If it was a 1 or a 2, we would need to investigate further to see if there's an error, but there are no errors on 3 through 9. So fly ball to left field. We'll go F7 on that. And last out of the game, last hope is Wilson Contreras. Catcher. That's a 2-3. A 2-3 is going to be a blank off of Herrera's card. And Contreras, a 2-3 is going to be a ground out with another error check. So ground out to second base. Let's see. And second baseman is up with it. Throws over to first. And that's going to end the ball game. So we go 4-3 on that putout. And the Cubs lose 8-2 against the White Sox. The White Sox had a big day at the plate. This 5 runs in the 7th and 8th as Lester began to tire in the ball game. That was my fault. Should have brought him out a little bit sooner than that because it was just a 3-2 or 3-2 ball game at that point. But bad managing on my part and bad pitching on his part because he was still on his, he still had his stuff. He wasn't into his stamina ratings or outcomes yet. But big day from, let's see if we can get the box score here. So a big day here from James McCann. You can see his 3 for 5 with 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Scored a run, and he was the big bopper for the day. For the White Sox, got a lot of production from the top of their lineup here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 RBIs, 6 RBIs, 3, 4, 5, 6 RBI, just from the top of the lineup. First 4 spots, so that was good production at the top. Good day for David Bodie. Bodie was 2 for 2 with a hit and a run scored, and then here you can see Giolito, really good start, 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 6 Ks, no walks. Lester, a decent start, but gave up a lot of hits and gave up those 4 runs. And it was too much. He had only given up 3 up to that point. But then the then the bullpen came in and held for the most part. So that's the game. And you can see some of the stats down here, and some of the other stats through here. So RBIs for Abreu, Anderson, Garcia. 3 RBIs for McCann. Moncada had 1. Tilson had 1. Bodie had 2. And so, a good game. So this is On Base Baseball, 2019 Sox against the Cubs. And that crosstown rivalry was a good start. All right. Well, thanks for watching. You can check out the game and the link in the description. You can download the teams for demo and download the quick start guide. And I'm still creating teams, so hopefully that's going to be coming out soon. But do get these chances every once in a while to show you just how everything goes with the game. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to get to them as quickly as I can. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.